Hello everyone, myself Shivani Wag from B Farm second year and my topic is Campylobacter jejuni, guided by Professor Suhani Solanki ma'am. This is the outline for my presentation. Introduction, hierarchical classification, history, morphology of a bacteria, pathophysiology, pathological test, signs and symptoms, treatment, prevention and then reference. So let's begin with the introduction of this topic, that is Campylobacter jejuni. Campylobacter jejuni is a pathogenic bacteria which causes the disease called as campylobacteriosis. Campylobacter means curved rod, which is derived from the Greek word campylus, called as curved, and bactron means rod. Campylobacter genus consists of 17 species and 6 subspecies. They commonly causes human diarrheal disease. Hierarchical classification, domain bacteria, phylum Proteobacteria, class Epsilon Proteobacterales, order Campylobacterales, family Campylobacteriaceae, genus Campylobacter, and then species jejuni. So this is the history. Theodor Escherichia was the first person to recognize this bacteria in 1886. He described their symptoms in children and called it as cholera infantum. It was isolated from the country like Brussels and Belgium from the stool sample of the patient having diarrhea. So this is the morphology. They are small gram-negative bacilli, which means they do not retain crystal violet stain in gram staining. They show helical morphology just like that of a DNA, as also you can see in the first picture of this page. They have the shape like rod, comma and S shape. They are motile having a flagella. They have unsheathed polar flagellum and they are microaerophilic, which means they can live in a limited oxygen also. So the pathophysiology, most of the people who become ill with campylobacteriosis get diarrhea or loose stool, which may be bloody and that can last for 1 week. Basically, the main route of transmission of this bacteria is by food, especially uncooked meat and meat products. So the pathogenesis of Campylobacter jejuni comprises of the 4 main stages. First, adhesion to intestinal cell. Second, colonization of digestive tract. Third, invasion of a targeted cell. And then fourth, toxic production. Let's discuss all these 4 stages in very simple way. As you can see in the diagram, the bacteria are present in the mucus layer. These bacteria try to invade in the epithelial cell of a jejunum and ileum, which are the part of a small intestine. This bacteria starts to multiply rapidly and form a position on the gastrointestinal tract and then eat all the nutrient which damages the cell and causes death. As the epithelial cells are responsible for their absorption and digestion process, due to their death, then the food is unable to digest and also disturb the fluid absorption in the intestine. The uncooked food and untreated water having bacteria passes on the diarrhea. It starts invading in the targeted cell, that is immune cell. Immune cells are present around the epithelial cells. Immune cells also get triggered by the bacteria and causes diarrhea. This is how the campylobacteriosis occur. This disease is most common in developed countries and endemic in developing country. Endemic means they are constant in a particular area, and this disease is also common in children rather than in adult and old people due to their immune system. As children immune system is very weak, as compared to old ones. A symptomatic infection is not prevalent, which means they are not common. So this is the overview of transmission route of Campylobacter infection. We can diagnose the disease in the laboratory. So this is the pathological test by lab diagnosis with the help of direct microscopy like that of phase contrast microscope and dark field microscope. Phase contrast microscope is a optical microscope. Another method is culture independent diagnostic test, which is also called as CIDT test, with, with the help of feces and rectal swabs. This method is carried out. So these are the signs and symptoms from which one can know that a person is infected by this particular disease, like nausea, weakness, headache, loose stool, vomiting, stomach cramps and abdominal pain. These are the treatment. Generally, fluid and electrolyte replacement is carried out at the basic level, but in severe cases, erythromycin is the best antibiotics which is recommended by the physician. So this is the picture of erythromycin tablet on the slide. Then these are the prevention. These are certain prevention that one should keep in mind to avoid certain infection, that they should wash their hand carefully. They should keep their food preparation area neat and clean. They should avoid raw and unpasteurized milk. Cooking the food at appropriate temperature is very necessary. One should be careful when dealing with the animals as with their pet one. These are the references from where these topic notes have been taken. Finally, thank you.